because then it's not even brand new, right? So it said it already presented this data. Could people already have hopped in on this play? Could that already be taking away some volume from it? So just a little heads up about that over on BNGO. So BNGO, what can we be doing with this play? It is the number one top gainer. It is only 4 million float, good low float, and the stock does have credibility. The stock did go from 90 cents up towards around 135. We know again 135 is going to be holding up as a resistance line. So again, we do have 135 going to be holding up as a resistance line. We do have 115 holding up as a support line right now, right? So if we look at 115, we do have a support line currently holding at this time. We're looking for maybe a bounce off 115, a run up towards around the 135 mark. BNGO does have a past chart history pattern of spiking. I like BNGO. I'm not trying to take anything away from BNGO. I don't think it's the shebang. I don't think it's, the bee's knees. I don't think it's, anything insane. But I do think that it could get, some nice profit towards it today. So BNGO, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 on BNGO. All right, let's keep on moving along. What else is there for us? SEAC. SEAC, 35 million in float, a little bit choppy, but working its way on up. This is, again, since it is 35 million in float, it is going to be more of a slow and steady climber. And we can also see just from its past chart history pattern, this isn't really a hard spiker. The biggest day I see is maybe from $3 up to $3.50, right? It's not really, the biggest spiker in the world, and that's because it is 35 million in float. We can see right here we did have an earnings report. It says its revenues increased by 10%. So revenues increased by 10%. That's good, right? We have an earnings report, revenues increasing. Earnings reports aren't really the biggest thing. Also, 35 million in float. So it's going to be a slow and steady climber. If anything, I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. All right. DLTH. Anything on DLTH? Well, this is 19 million in float. Again, a little bit bigger on float, especially when the stock is $9. DLTH did have a nice little pop so far from 785 up towards around that 975 mark. If we take a look over on DLTH, what do we have right here? We have December 5th, again, announces earnings reports. Earnings is what's made the stock spike. If anything, this is going to be a slow and steady little climber. It does have resistance, or it should be holding up as support at $9. $8.99 is the 50-day moving average. The stock is currently at $9.15. If it goes below the 50-day moving average, it's probably going to drop off. So if it goes below the 50-day moving average of $9, it's probably going to drop off. It's probably going to get ugly. So that needs to hold that $9 mark. I'd give this one probably a 5 out of 10. SCWX, 10 million in float, little bit of a gap up right here. Anything jumping off the board right here on SCWX, December 5th earnings report. So another earnings report. So a lot of earnings reports today that are, making these stocks get a little bit of action. What about SES? SES, the lowest float stock on the board today. Now, why do I want to let you guys know about that? SES is the lowest float stock on the board today. Well, sometimes this happens. When we don't have a stock that's 100% getting all the mob, when we have, a day or a morning where not everyone is running into the same play and we don't have any sort of massive breakouts yet, what do some traders like to do? Some traders like to just go right to the lowest float play because they say, hey, you know what? If people are going to buy, they're going to buy the lowest float. They know that one can spike. They know that one can rip. They know that one can bring in volume. So you know what? I'm going to buy that low float play. And then you know what? Someone else says, yeah, I'll buy that low flow play. And then someone else says, I'm going to buy that low flow play. Well, now again, everyone's buying that low flow play, and now it's starting to spike. And now again, the mob does move into it since it is starting to spike. So SES, regardless of what you think about this play, it may possibly just turn into the best top gainer since it is the lowest float stock on the gap up board. Everyone's aware of it. And again, the stock could possibly break and get a nice little run and rip, if it rips its way through $7, right? So what is going on with SES? Is there any sort of news behind this play to possibly get it going? Well, SES did have a press release last night that says SES Energy announces completion of batch fire preemptive write process. So upon successful conclusion of the merger with Australian Future Energy, SES will increase its ownership in batch fire from 7.4% to 37.2%. Okay. So, we do have a pretty solid press release right here. We have a solid press release on SES. SES does have a nice little squeeze pattern on the daily chart. I know some of you guys are noticing that. Little squeeze pattern on the daily chart. and maybe we could see a possible rip up towards around like 850. Maybe we could see a possible rip up towards around that $10 mark. So SES kind of, where I'd be leaning towards a little bit at this time. Maybe it could get a little bit of action. Maybe it could get a little bit of volume. Right? What about XSPA? That's also a low float play. XSPA. XSPA, December 5th, announced a renewed partnership and successful mediation of long-standing dispute of Jackson Atlanta International Airport. All right, so we're resolving or excuse me, we're having a partnership with basically this airport on XSPA. Partnerships are always a great keyword, right? Successful mediation of long-standing with this airport, right? So what we have here is agreement. Agreement, always good, and also the word success or successful, another 3-star word in here as well. So that's pretty solid. So you have XSPA and you also have SES. I think SES is a little bit bigger, a little bit better. MTP, let's check out that over on MTP. I just want to look at some low float plays right here. Announced MTP December 5th, 9:10 announces confirmation of 2.6 million grant for further clinical development of its treatment. So basically, it's getting a grant of $2.6 million to complete its treatment over on MTP. That one just came out with a press release a little bit ago. Let me, I'll get that link for you if you want to check that out, because that link is not over in alerts chat unless someone posted it. But this just came out 9 minutes ago. So we have MTP posting that one right here. Boom. So you guys have that. And that one has a little bit of potential. Okay. All right. So these are kind of the stocks that are getting a little bit of action off the top, a little bit of action right here. Also a little side note, AUPH guys, this had the best press release last night in after hours. Also shout out to Offshore Trader. She made $6,000 on AUPH last night, which was, absolutely great. She was actually holding AUPH, and then AUPH had this massive gap up. It went from $8 all the way up to $19, spiked all the way up to $25. So she made $6,000 last night. So shout out to that. That is absolutely awesome. And this had, again, textbook amazing press release. Positive phase 3 data, key words such as demonstrating, achieve, statistics, significant, right? Italic bold right here. So great. But again, this play does have 50 million in float. I believe Yahoo Finance has 66 million in float. So it's a very difficult float to be able to keep up, and that's most likely why AUPH has been fading on off. This is also, again, what I said last night. I said, guys, AUPH, watch for a massive gap up, quick spike, but then it's probably going to fade off. AUPH, if you are in on this play, watch for a possibility of maybe if the stock getting back up to $20. If it could ever break $20, it could get a lot of hype. But again, very large float, great press release. It's going to be hard to keep up, but at the same time, it definitely has a little bit of potential. All right. I know some of you guys are also looking over on IBIO still. IBIO, this is one that I wrote out in our morning newsletter. IBIO, keep on watch for a possible push today. This stock has been working the past 2 days to break 30 cents and stay above that price, as this is a strong resistance line from the 50-day moving average. Now we are at 31 cents, and if the mob moves in, this stock has room to run. I like the daily chart, I like the move the past 2 days, and I like the 16 million in float. 16 million float, you might say, Deck, that's pretty big, isn't it? Well, it's not that big because, again, the stock's only 30 cents. And when the stock's only 30 cents, 16 million float can get gobbled up very quickly since the price of the stock is so cheap, right? So we definitely want to keep everything on watch. So everything that we've gone over so far, I'm just going to type out stocks to watch. What stocks do we want to focus on? Out of that list, we want to look at AUPH. We're going to want to watch AUPH. AUPH had that great news. AUPH has that a lot of that big time potential. As it could possibly get up to $20. It had the great gap up last night in after hours, big time profits. Again, Offshore Trader made $6,000 on that play. You can talk to her when she comes on in. So again, what else do we have? BNGO, right? BNGO. This stock, 4 million in float, right? We came out with BNGO again. BNGO had the breakthrough, but also talked about presenting it or already presenting it at its conference, right? SCWX, 10 million in float, right? This had an earnings report over on SCWX. SCWX. This had an earnings report towards it, and this is what made the stock get a little bit of hype. So it made the stock get a little bit more attention. SCAC, that was more of just an earnings report. Again, I'm not going to put that on the hot stock to watch list right at the start. What's going on with BPMX? I do like that daily chart a little bit. Let's just see if there's anything 100% like spicy here. No, nothing, no news I'm seeing. But BPX does have a nice little daily chart. Nice little daily chart, right? Again, Sean, SEAC just had an earnings report. It's going to be a bigger float stock, more slow and steady. It increased 10% in revenues. Again, SEAC 35 million in float, so it's just going to be more of a slow and steady play. BPMX is an earnings tomorrow. Thank you, Creaker. I appreciate it. IMAC, not really too much there. SCS, I do like. SCS, I do like. It is also one of the lowest float plays today. SCS also came out with this morning talking about SCS talking about completion of batch fire. It says it moved from ownership of 7.4% to 37%, which could help that stock get some momentum. Also, only being 1 million in float. Then also MTP. This stock, I know again, guys, we're a little all over the place. MTP has a grant for $2.6 million. So we have MTP. What else? The last one was XSPA. XSPA. What did that one come out with? Oh, a renewed partnership with the airport. Okay, so these are kind of the top stocks that I'm looking at, along with IBIO and maybe a little bit of KERN. But these are kind of, stocks to watch at the bell. Let me fix BNGO right there. Stocks to watch at the bell. Boom. There we go. Empower, it's Thursday. Let's make some money, baby. Right? So we have about 6 to 7 stocks, and the only reason we have, this many stocks to be watching at the bell is just because nothing is 100% spiking just yet. And since we're not seeing anything 100% spike just yet, a lot of traders are doing what? A lot of traders are waiting for that best spike. A lot of traders are waiting for that best climb. A lot of traders are spread out between a few different plays, not knowing where, of course, the best, volume is going to head to, where the best activity is going to go to, where the best attention is going to be heading towards, right? So let's take a chat vote. Let's see what you guys are thinking. It's 9:24 right now. Let's see what everyone's focused on. Let's see what everyone's looking at. Let's go with what stock will do the best this morning. So what stock do you think is going to do the best this morning? Is it going to be AUPH? Is it going to be BNGO? Is it going to be SCWX? Is it going to be SCS? Is it going to be MTP? Is it going to be XSPA? Is it going to be IBIO? Or last but not least, I'll put other. You don't think any of these plays are going to do well. You think something else, right? So what stock will do the best this morning? Let's see what everyone's focused on. Go ahead, cast your vote. So everyone go vote. Let's see where everyone's looking at. Get a good understanding on where, again, I always like to think of small scale, right? Everything we do in chat is kind of small scale related to the big world, right? If there are millions of people trading stocks and we do a chat vote, and let's say, the majority of people are looking at this one stock, we can kind of, multiply that and understand maybe where a lot of the world is looking at. Dolphin XSPA came out with that agreement news before, so a little bit of a repeat. Thank you for that. Thank you. Mr. Miller, where can I chart for free? I mean, one of the things you could do is honestly, if you want to look at charts, go right underneath the live stream. Right underneath the live stream. If you want to just play with charts right here, you can. So if you want to say, hey, you know what, I want to look at KERN. You look at KERN, you can zoom in right here. You can, add different candlesticks. You can add different indicators. You want to add different indicators right here. You say, hey, I want to add, my Bollinger Bands. All right, I got my Bollinger Bands all set. Okay, I want to look at the 1 month chart. Okay, let's change this to the 30-minute chart, see how we're looking. I mean, you could just do this all right here underneath the live stream if you want to. Also, you could go to www.stockcharts.com. That's where a lot of people go as well. Yeah, AKER, I was not a fan of that one. AKER just came out with an offering. Whew. I came out. I didn't want to talk about that one today. All right, let's see what everyone's voting on. We have a nice list of options, so I'm curious to see if there's going to be a breakout play since we have a nice list of options here. All right, cast your vote if you guys have not in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Share the results. Stop the poll. SCS and BNGO. These are the top two to focus on at the start of the day today. SCS, BNGO, top two to focus on at the start of the day. All right, so we I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. That these plays could easily bring in some good hype. I think these plays could bring in some good momentum. These plays could definitely take on off. So I just want to see if what's going to be coming on up. We have a nice little watch list, right? We have a nice little watch list right at the bell. Market opens up in about 2 minutes. We put BNGO on the top. Mm, I'm going to put SES on the top starting with, honestly, just because I think I have a better chance of pulling the trigger on SES than I do on some other plays. Let's see, where are we at right now? SES is currently at 665. Again, I think this play, I think SES has the best chance of bringing in some volume towards it. I think the stock has the best chance of bringing in some volume towards it. Right now, I'm not in on this play. Again, you guys can see SCS, not in on the stock at all. Just want to be open, honest, credible, transparent, all that good stuff. But I may pull the trigger pretty quick on SCS just because I want to be like, hey, you know what? If this play is going to pop, if it's going to get some volume towards it, I definitely want to be one of the first people in on that stock. So I do want to keep my eyes peeled on it in case it does, start getting any sort of volume or any sort of momentum towards it. So right now, keeping my eyes peeled on that play. Right now, it is starting to drop a little bit more over on SCS. So actually getting a little bit of a drop right here. Right now, let's see. SCS, you could look for an entry right now, but it is again a little bit on the lower side. You couldn't wait for a break of $6 or $7 as well. BNGO, again, you want to look for a bounce off 115 or a break up to 135. Now we got a little bit of a spread. I'm just going to see what comes up on the high of the day momentum scanner, but I am keeping my eyes peeled over on SCS at this time. That's one that I am focused on to see if maybe it could get a little bit of action height, maybe U-shape back above that $7 area. BNGO trying to get some volume. Again, we do have support right at 115, and basically, if you're in right now, you're looking for a spike back up towards 135, which is pre-market highs. So these are the top two stocks we were looking at, both with some sort of news towards them. All right, we're looking to see if we're going to get any sort of big time attention, going to get any sort of big time hype, any sort of big time momentum. Right now, still not in on anything. SCS, again, not in on that play. 931. Just want to make sure you guys see that. BNGO is falling right now. SCS getting a little bit of a fall right now as well. That has about a 28-cent spread. I want to see if that could possibly start U-shaping on up in the future. DLTH, this stock had an earnings report. DLTH, quick little pop back up to the highs. DLTH, quick little pop back up to the highs. Haven't pulled the trigger yet today. Haven't pulled the trigger yet today. Just watching the high of the day momentum scanner, seeing what we have. SAGE may get a little bit of a bounce play on SAGE because this stock did miss the endpoints, missed endpoints, fell from 150 all the way down to $62. It may be able to be able to bounce from 55. It actually just went from $55 to $61. You may be able to see it back up towards like 70 to $80 today. That's a possibility. All right, so you may be able to get a little bit of action over there. Also, SCS is still fighting. SCS is still fighting. That just had a couple $7 orders. So look at SCS is actually starting to battle its way back right now, guys. A little sign note, SCS battling its way right now. Now again, all over the place. Very big spread. 688. ASCII's at 705. Stock is trying to get some activity towards it. You could look for an entry, but it is a little bit difficult right now over on SES. If it can break $7, it can run and rip. This is a good looking chart. I do like this, pattern, but again, a very scary play. It looks like it's trying to catch the mob right now, though. It's trying to catch the mob, trying to get the volume. So what I'm happy about, I'm not in on SCS because again, it was a little too jumpy for me, but I'm happy about that we were all over the correct play, right? We're all over the correct play to kind of get the most volume towards it. Let's see if it can hold. Hopefully it can hold. Hopefully it can hold. But at least we're all over and correct, the right play. I didn't pull the trigger on it, but just because it's a little scary. But nice to see that the mob moves in on the stocks that we're thinking and voting on. BNGO right here. SCS back down to 675. BNGO trying to move. Right now I'm sitting on my hands. Right now I don't want to force anything. Right now I'm not going to put myself in a position just to lose. See here. Right now nothing, nothing, nothing. SCS trying to battle. BNGO trying to stay on up. IMAC is trying to get a little bit of action. IMAC had a press release this morning. It is IMAC 4 million in float. What could help IMAC? Oh, SES starting to get a little bit more of a pop now. Again, look at SES. It goes up to 740. The bids are still at 695. The bids are still at 695. And like the ask is all the way up at 740. So I mean, this one is profitable, 100%. But at the same time, it is scary to get into. I want to see if SCS is just going to be able to hold. I know it's just trying to hold on up, but there's definitely volume over here at least. There's definitely volume. There's definitely attention. Definitely people are trying to push up SES. If you want to, you can look for a small entry and maybe see if you can get that $7 break and be able to see any sort of continuation. Right now, it's just trying to hold that $7 mark. I can switch it over to a 1-minute time frame. We take off pre-market for the moment. A little bit of like a bull flag setup. If it can hold that $7 mark. So SES just trying to hold that $7 mark at this time. Now again, starting to get a little bit of a drop. IMAC is starting to push up a little bit. So IMAC's trying to break through this 50-day moving average. This is a usual low volume play. So if a lot of volume does move into IMAC, it could possibly rip and run. IMAC did have a press release this morning. Says December 5th, implement a new patient wellness plans. I could imagine this one just going a little bit crazy. I could imagine IMAC just kind of getting a little bit crazy as volume kind of flies in on this one. And this is what I'm talking about right now. Look at IMAC going a little bit all over the place. IMAC getting a little bit wild just as I'm talking about it. Just I know how traders work. I just know how traders work and where they're thinking. All right, as traders to basically say, I'm not even in IMAC, guys. So again, I'm not even in on this play, but it looks like it's about to get halted in a second over on IMAC, as this thing is just going all over the place right now. Look at this thing, so jumpy at this moment. It's probably going to get halted if it keeps going on up. This thing just spiked up to 350 for a moment. Traders are trying to get something going. Right? Traders are trying. They're saying, hey, let's try to get something moving. They try to get SCS moving. Now they're trying to get IMAC moving. The traders like, hey, let's try to do it. I'm not in on this one right now, but if it does start ripping and running, I'm thinking about it. But it's a scary one. This is a scary one as well. It's the same exact process of SCS. Same exact thing as SCS. As it's choppy, it's jumpy. If it catches fire, it rips. If it doesn't, it dumps. That's how it works right here. So IMAC right now trying to hold on up. Goes up to 350, now down to 317. And these are traders. As we know, there hasn't been too much action today. People are looking to get something going. People want to pump something up. People want to make money, right? Oh, look at that. IMAC from 350 down to 280. Now back at the $3 mark. Basically, everyone who is trading SCS is now running over to IMAC and basically doing the same thing SCS did to now IMAC. But notice, this is how traders work. You can read them like a book. But it has been making for a little bit more of a risky market. Has been making for a little bit more of a risky market right now as SCS tries to pop, runs up to 750, back down to 690. IMAC tries to pop, goes from $3 to 350. Now it's back down to 260. Right? So you do got to be very, very careful at this time. IMAC all the way back on down. So again, no entry for IMAC as well. Right now, 0 out of 0. No entry for IMAC. SCS, 0 out of 0. Nothing I got in there. So again, nothing I'm getting in so far because, these plays are very, very choppy at the moment. Very, very choppy at the moment. Right now, again, just kind of looking, making sure we're all set. We're only about 8 minutes in this market, though. 8 minutes in. So far, number one top gainer in the market is IMAC. Number one top gainer in the market is IMAC. Shot on up, came back on down. BNGO. Anything going on with BNGO today? Right here, BNGO. Not really too much I'm seeing. JASN. JSN trying to break that 50-day moving average. DLTH is still climbing. DLTH has been solid. This stock's moving all off of earnings. DLTH, excuse me, $11 is going to be a very strong area to break because that is its old spiking high back on September 11th, 10th, and 9th. So DLTH had an earnings report this morning, and that's getting some good action over towards that play. $11 is an old spiking high you could see from September 11th, September 10th, and September 9th when it spiked on those days. Still, IMAC is still fighting. IMAC is still fighting. DLTH, here's that $11 touch. I'm going to put DLTH on the top. I'm going to put DLTH on the top. And then I'm going to put IMAC on the bottom. But right now we can see it's like constant changing between top gainers. IMAC tried, SCS tried, BNGO tried, DLTH a little bit more pricier, but still holding up pretty well right now. But be careful for a DLTH pullback in the next few minutes. $11 is going to be tough. Right now, IMAC is still fighting. BNGO. What do we got here? Come on, Mark. You give us something. We want to trade. We want to make some money. We want to attack this market. But we need, again, some predictability. We need some credibility. Right? We need to be able to hop in on plays with confidence. We need to be able to, get in on these plays feeling good about myself. If I hop in on this play right now, what am I thinking? Honestly, if I hop in this play right now, I'm more thinking along the lines of please go up, right? I'm more thinking of along the lines of this is a 50-50. This is a little bit of a gamble. If I hop into IMAC, I'm gambling. If I hop into SCS, I'm gambling, right? I feel like I'm playing roulette. It's just that little white ball going around the roulette wheel, and it's just please, 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 right? That's all you're doing. So you got to be very careful right now. If you feel like you're gambling, it's probably not a play you want to get involved with. If you're hopping into a stock and you feel confident and you feel like, hey, you know what, this is I want to be making some money today. These are the stocks that have the best potential. You know what? That's where again you guys can make that big time cash. But you don't want to just be gambling your market away. You're gambling your account away. You're not here to gamble. If you want to gamble, go to Vegas, go to Atlantic City, go to your local casino, which is kind of weird to say, but I feel like a lot of people have local casinos nowadays, right? So go there. You're not here to gamble. You're here to make a salary. You're here to have a job. You're here to have an income. You're here to have a monthly check come to you every single day. So, we definitely want to kind of make sure that every single time we get into a play, we have that confidence behind us and not just hopping in for no reason. We have SAGE, SAGE, a little bit bigger in price, but this one still has a little bounce. Again, this one's $63. This one's $63, but it is getting a little bit of that dead cat bounce play. I'm just kind of looking around. Right now, look at guys, DLTH, that was pretty easy, right? DLTH, that was pretty predictable. Ran up to $11. What hit? $11 hit, back down to 10.35. So stock went from $9, shot up to $11, hits $11, back down to 10.35. And again, why did it hit, $11? How did we know it was going to fall at $11? Very simple stuff, guys. Always just look at the past chart history. Past chart history is going to tell where the stock can run and where the stock can't, break. So what we have right here, look at these two arrows, right? Where did the stock run up the first time? $11, dump on off. Second time, $11 is always going to be an area where it's going to be very, very difficult. AUPH, a little bit of a bounce off that 1450-ish mark, about a dollar so far. Nothing in the penny stock world that has been super consistent. Penny stock traders tried. They tried on SES. They tried on IMAC, right? SES looks a little bit better than IMAC though still. So if SES re-breaks $7, it may start getting the volume. I'm going to put SES on the bottom level too, in case that ever could re-break $7. That's where we could start getting a lot more activity. All right, so let's see. Come on, market. We're here. We're hungry. IMAC, no. BNGO. BNGO still trying to get a little hype. I mean, that thing's just been so slow, right? Look at pre-market. I mean, if we look at pre-market, it's not really making any sort of crazy moves over on BNGO. It's just so slow, but maybe. IMAC, no. BNGO, maybe. JASN, no. POAI, no. JSM, no. SCAC, no. SES, still a maybe if you could ever get back above $7. Come on, market. Give us something. We're here to make money, but at the same time, we got to be disciplined, right? Other than that, other than penny stocks, because we really don't want any penny stocks right now, we kind of have to be looking more towards SAGE, or we have to be looking towards some bigger plays, right? So if you guys are really hungry for a trade right now, I mean, even look at this DLTH. DLTH, what happened on this play? Hit $11. It's all the way back down to 970 now, right? From that $11 mark that we talked about. The only play I see is the ones that you guys are talking about in chat. SAGE from the dead cat bounce play. And that's kind of like the main one, to be honest. So we got SAGE. I'll put it up on the top right here. It is halted. Maybe again you could get a little bit of volume, a little bit of a pop, and just try to hold out on some shares. Percy trades in SAG, 1,300 shares. That's a whopping amount of money, buddy. That's like $90,000. Yeah, SAGE. I mean, this could be one of those plays again. You might be able to say, "Hey, let me just buy 50 shares of this play and See if you can make that nice profit. How many times have I done that before? Just just buy 50 shares of that stock and see if you can make some nice profit. I've done that before, right? You guys have seen me just do that. So hey, should this be SAGE, just a 50 share profiter, and just see if you can just make some quick money on it? I mean, this thing does rip dollars. This one is Holt at this time. It's not on the Holt scanner because this is a little bit higher in price. At $66. The Holt scanner usually stops at around $30. SAGE should be coming out. It should have a little gap up. I'm thinking right around $68. You should have a little gap up since it did close off with some good buying volume. I'm going to turn off pre-market for a second. Let's move into a 1 minute time frame. And you can see SAGE, nice little U shape on up. See if this get a nice little pop and continue out. I would much rather, yes, guys, I'd much rather play a penny stock. All right, I'd much rather play a penny stock. I'd much rather get involved with the penny stock. But at the same time, if there's no penny stocks going on, we have to basically play what the cards dealt us, right? We can't decide that. We can't decide, what penny stock market is going to do. We just have to play what we currently have, or we don't play what we currently have and wait for a new, deck of cards to move in. Again, you can play options as well, right? Options are something that you guys can look at. But again, let's look at the SPY. Again, we had the whole boot camp on options last week. But I mean, even looking at the SPY right now, is the SPY really doing anything? I mean, we're kind of moving sideways right now. So, even an option right now in the SPY not really doing anything. You'd be like, okay, let's look at AAPL. Apple, little bit of a pop, little bit of a green day, right? Very, very small green day. Maybe again, you could look for a little option or something along those lines. But even those right now, not really too profitable. But again, last week we had our whole boot camp on options. Let's see where SAGE is going to come out at. This one should be getting unholted. I'm thinking again, little gap up, probably up towards around 68.50-ish, probably somewhere. I'm thinking. Yeah, always on stock twits, people are always going to get a little carried away, right? On stock twits, people are always going to get carried away. It's going to open up at $150, right? So you don't really want to just listen to those random people over there. Bids are getting a little bit higher. But does anyone have the time? Anyone have the time that SAGE is supposed to get unholted at? Check this out. About 20 minutes into the market. Still just no penny stocks yet. No penny stocks. So if you guys are going to trade, it's going to have to be a little bit on the bigger side. 9:45 and 37 seconds. There we go. SAGE is back. SAGE is back. Actually opened up at the same price. A little bit of a drop. Let's see if it can get back above $66. So actually opened up at the same price. Little bit of a drop actually. Let's see. Right now, volume's not really that crazy. Let's see if it can pick up. Trying to pick up a little bit. Starting to get a little bit more hype. Here it goes. A little bit more hype. A little bit more hype. A little bit more volume. Jumping all over the place. A little bit of hype, a little bit of volume. Jumping all over the place at this time. It keeps going from 66, 66.20, 66.20 to 67.20. Yeah, FX Subber. Wait a minute, Deck. You're telling me that the people on StockTwits don't know what they're talking about? You're telling me the people on StockTwits are lying to me? They told me this thing was gonna gap up to 150 bucks. Those bastards. All right, so right now, let's keep our eyes on SAGE, just trying to hold on up. as I said, I'd much rather play a penny stock, but we want to be aware of all the possible plays. We are starting to see a little bit of the drop now on SAGE. Little bit of a drop on SAGE back down towards around 63. So nothing there yet. Even that play having a little bit of trouble. Even that play having a little bit of trouble right now. As that's starting to have a little bit of a drop. And I'm back to saying, market, what are you doing right here? Right? We need to get a little spike dance going. You know, a little rain dance. Only we gotta do a little spike dance. Come on, give us something. I mean, we can't complain, honestly. Every single day has been, we have seen some breakouts. AKTX was number one, right? AKTX when we had this pop in the morning. On Monday, we had DRIO get a nice play. On Tuesday, yesterday, we had KERN bringing some good action. That was a trade I made some money on, and I'm also blanking out on yesterday's top gainer. And then today, not really too much. This week has been good, hasn't been amazing. This week has been good, not amazing. We haven't seen really any sort of supernovas during the actual day, right? We haven't seen any supernovas during the actual day. We've just seen like small breakouts that pop up really quickly but don't last, right? That's kind of what we've been seeing more. Small breakouts that pop up really quickly but don't really last very long. What do I think about KOD? What do you think of KOD? Why do we not see KOD on the scanner? KOD, this play, it wouldn't be on the scanner because it is $65 and the scanners only go up towards $30. Because again, we'd like to focus a little bit more on penny stocks. Also, KOD, it wouldn't be a top gainer because it's down 11%. It's actually in the red 11% today. Also, KOD hasn't hit a high of the day today yet, and it's not breaking out. So KOD again, not within the price range, not a top gainer, hasn't hit a new high of the day yet, and also not breaking out. So there wouldn't be any reason for KOD to pop up on the scanner for today. But KOD, the past week has been doing pretty solid. But today's definitely kind of more of a gap down. It's just trying to hold its gains type of day. But yep, nice pop over the past 3 days on that play. BNGO, is that one starting to get a little volume? I'm still thinking maybe a penny stock can make something happen. I'm still thinking if SES could ever break $7, it could still make something happen. I'm thinking if IMAC could possibly ever get back above $3, something could happen. And I know you guys saying, what about BNGO? BNGO is still trying to hold on up. I just think BNGO is too slow. I mean, it's only 4 million in float. I get that, but right now BNGO is very, very slow. If it comes up towards its pre-market highs, sure, I may look for a small entry, but I don't know if I would be expecting too much out of it, right? Pre-market highs around 135. Right now, this stock is just at 123. This stock so far today has gone from 119 to 123. Total, we've moved only 4 cents on BNGO. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of it right now. NURO, no. How's KERN doing? How's KERN? Kern. Oh, red day today on KERN. What about IBIO? IBIO, red day today on IBIO. All right, so we got to give it a little bit of time. Come on, what do we got? What do we got? BNGO has 21 million in float. I'm Mr. Wendell. Thank you. So many of you guys are switching up your profile pictures. Mr. Wendell, we got Creaker. I'm seeing all these little new profile pictures. I'm used to seeing you guys, with your standard profile pictures where you guys have been using for the past month. I'm like, who is this? And then I'm like, oh, Mr. Wendell. Oh, Creaker, right? switching up the profile picture is like switching you up completely. I gotta relearn you now. Because that's how sometimes I see your profile picture, I know who it is right away, right? Without even, reading the name. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you switched it up. I'm like, wait, who is this person? SAGE, still trying to move up a little bit. SAGE. So if we make this a little bit bigger, right? We make this a little bit bigger. We can see SAGE still has a little bit of this uptrend. So we still have SAGE still holding that uptrend, right? I'll make this in a blue so you guys can even see this a little bit better. So if you go to the color, we can make this right into a blue, and boom, there you go. So we have this nice blue color right here. Very nice. We call this an aurora blue. And I'm just making things up at this point. And then what we have right here, guys, is a nice little uptrend. As long as that uptrend holds, you guys are good to hold. So if this uptrend holds, you guys are all set, ready to rock. You guys know how uptrends work, though. The moment it cracks the uptrend is the moment it falls on off. So you can basically compare this as an example, right? We have right here, we have this nice little uptrend. When the uptrend cracks, that's when the stock cracks. Very simple, very easy to get. When the trend line cracks, the stock cracks. People who bought SAG in maybe last night, right? That's where it drops on off. And that happens with people, right? It happens. It's a scary thing in the stock market where, if you look on SAGE, SAGE went from, just slow and steady every day, slow and steady every day, slow and steady every day. And, people woke up this morning on SAGE and probably it was shocked, right? Look at this, slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. And then boom, down to $53. People probably woke up this morning shocked, saying, "What just happened? How did I just lose like my whole entire account?" Right? It is a little bit of a scary thing sometimes where, if you have a company that you're investing in and you're holding long term, you have to be aware of, possible trial results or drug results or phase results coming on up. And if they're not good, they can definitely drop off. Yeah, basically, honey, we're selling the house. Right now, Matador, what do you think of CHK on the long side? CHK? CHK, I wouldn't touch that on the long side right now, right? That doesn't really look too great. It's starting to drop on off right here. 80-cent top resistance. If anything, got to wait for the re-break of 80 cents. So right now, we do have SAGE halted. Nice little move. Again, we're not that much higher on up than where we started, but again, it's still, again, higher lows are always great. As long as we have higher lows, we're still good. Again, good job everyone who's holding this play. Good job TK. Good job Rapid. Good job Offshore Trader. Good job again, a lot of you guys over here. Again, all you guys got to do is watch the trend line. As long as the trend line holds, you guys are good to go. SAGE, again, I'm not really feeling too much of this play right now. I'd rather kind of look for a penny stock. I know the penny stock world's rather slow, and I don't really want to force anything. I'm more again sitting on my hands, kind of saving my funds at this time. Don't want to put myself in a position just to lose. I'm not going to hop in on anything if I'm not 100% confident. I don't want to be gambling. I don't want to put my jump in on a play just to say I traded. Right? I'd rather again make money. I'd rather win. Right? I have 22 straight days of green because again I'm waiting for the best plays in my eyes. I'm being a stock sniper. Again, good job everyone. Good job team. Like what about PTGX? PTGX right here. Again, not really any sort of volume. This stock has to make a red to green move, if anything, and re-break $8. So this has to make a red to green move, if anything, and break $8, and 850 would be your next resistance line, 13 EMA. So PTGX would have to make a big red to green move, break $8. But a break of $8 could definitely bring it hype. PTGX was the top gainer yesterday. That was the one I was thinking of. So yeah, PTGX, this was the nice spiker yesterday. Go back to a 5-minute time frame, and we see this one on the nice move yesterday on PTGX. So if PTGX could ever break $8, we may have a little bit of a play on our hands. What do I think of HOME? Kind of like a smaller scale SAGE. Again, the stock dropped from 850 down to 475. kind of like a smaller scale SAGE, right? So whenever you see these big drop offs, kind of like dead cat bounce plays, right? I don't come up with this name. I didn't come out with a dead cat bounce, play. But again, you think about it. If a cat drops very far, you kind of bounce right back on up. These cats with 9 lives always land on their feet. So, right here, SAGE, little bit of that dead cat bounce. So let's see if SAGE is going to be able to break through that $70 mark right now, and hopefully, again, keep on pushing. So hopefully SAGE could break through that $70 mark, get a nice push. Again, SCS, we're going to keep our eyes peeled over there to see if that could ever get back above $7. We also, again, got a nice little alert on HOME. HOME, something kind of similar to SAGE. Doesn't have as much volume, but again, dead cat bounce, and again, a little bit smaller if you guys are looking for something over there, right? So again, we'll have some stocks to watch. Stocks to watch. Right now we got SAGE, right? Got a little HOME. I just want to keep my eyes peeled on SCS and BNGO in case that start getting any sort of activity from it. And then from there, there's kind of it though right now. These are kind of it right now. Kind of the most profitable play would be SAGE at this time, but if it is out of your price range, completely understandable, right? If it is out of your price range, completely understandable. Trade Life NLS 20 million float, your classic squeeze setup. Let's check it out. NLS 20 million in float. Uh, Dude, I'm not seeing that. The 13 EMA. I'm not really seeing that much of a squeeze right here on NLS, unless I'm missing something. So I'm not seeing too much of a squeeze right here for it because again, it's kind of below everything and then just popped above. Has room to run up to the 200-day moving average though. I do like that. SAGE is back right now. Let's check that out. SAGE. We can make this chart a little bit bigger as well since, we got to focus on it a little bit more. So SAGE, here we go. Let's see. Move its way on up towards around that $70 mark. 71. Let's see again how long this dead cat bounce play is going to be able to last for us. Can it push up to 75.80? Let's see. 75.80 would be kind of the next big areas. And again, great job. Great work. As you guys know, I haven't pulled the trigger on anything, but I get just as excited when I see your profits because I know a lot of you guys are new. I know a lot of you guys have been trading for a long time. I know a lot of you guys are kind of right in the middle. And, it's nothing better than seeing a consistent trader being able to continue to make big money. Nothing better than seeing a new trader be able to pull the trigger and be able to come out on top as well. Right? That's absolutely awesome. That's such a great feeling, especially for, a newer trader who hasn't been able to make that profit before. Now, as I said, if this is a little bit out of your price range, you don't have enough funds to be playing SAGE, hey, that happens, right? It's a little bit slow in the penny stock world right now. It's understandable. You just got to sit back. You got to stay smart. You got to wait for your play. Right now, SAGE still trying to hold on up at this time. I'll check out NLS for the descending triangle pattern. But yep, no problem. If I was just looking at it a little bit wrong or looking for a different pattern, I'm sure you're right on it. Trade Life, you're always again spot on with those type of plays. So again, great job, great work. SAGE, here's a little bit of that pullback right now. We have the IMAC starting to creep its way on up a little bit. IMAC trying to creep its way back on up. And I just want to see if one of these are going to try to get any sort of action. So we still got SCS and IMAC. Again, still two penny stocks. I would go very small on IMAC or SCS if they do start spiking. SAGE starting to have a little bit of a turn. It's like, I want to get one trade in. I want to get one trade in. I know right now is not the most insane time, but I want to get one trade in before, again, this Thursday kind of starts slowing down a little bit. Just trying to make some money, trying to make some profit, trying to get after it. If you have any questions, you guys can ask. Absolutely. Right now it's 10:07 in the market. Best play so far has been SAGE, and then we've had a couple little random plays over on IMAC and SCS. Again, great job, TK. Adam, is the level 2 with the cost of E-Trade? Yeah, so when you get E-Trade, your level 2 is going to come with it. So when you get E-Trade, your level 2 comes with it. Little side note right now, guys. IMAC starting to creep its way back on up. IMAC is starting to creep its way on up. Where do you see the SAGE bounce? SAGE, well, if we make this chart a little bit, actually, can we make this chart small? Okay, you make the chart a little bit bigger. SAGE has right along this red line around $66. So right around the $66. I know it's tough to see. It's not really like making it very big right here, but SAGE has $66 as a very nice support line. But this is halted right now, so we got to see where this is going to be coming out at. If it falls beneath $66, it has support back down towards around $62. So you do have SAGE, $66 support, and $62 support. So SAGE, $66 support and $62 support if that stock does start falling on off after this halt right here. Right? Had a little bit of IMAC trying to creep its way back on up. So we do have IMAC. Look at this guy trying to U-shape. If IMAC gets back up towards around that $3 mark, I may look for an entry just because, I haven't bought anything yet, and there's the possibility of that one starting to go crazy again. So if IMAC can get back up towards around that $3 mark, I may look for an entry there. Again, great work all around. Again, great job. I want to check out some SAGE profits. What do we got? We got TK with $1,000. SAGE 49 Bravo $26,000. Oh my gosh, if that is real, buddy, that is insane. So what do you have here? SAGE $26,000, 49 Bravo. Hey, buddy, awesome job. So really saying that's real money. Well, congratulations. That is insane. Crystal Ball, $424. Percy Trades, $2,800. That is an awesome gains. Roll Tide, $62. I'm more of a We Are type of guy. Penn State. SAGE on MCSE, $330, $920. Jake Urbano, $250. Creeker, $120. Drewless, $47. So hey, awesome job, and also shout out to 49 Bravo, $26,000. Right here, being able to make that profit. So awesome work. Creeker, $2,000. Make sure you throw that over there. IMAC basically a shot on up. IMAC try to give it a shot on up and right back on down. Jim, can I see this text? Absolutely. Yeah, buddy. I know before, again, you couldn't, Jim, you were having a little bit of issue before, but yep, you are all set, Jim. But I'm just going to delete that right now just because, again, we just want to keep it stock related, but I just want to let you know you're all set. Right now, we're just seeing if anything's going to come on up. SAGE has about 1 minute yet left. SAGE 1 minute left. Where's SES? And nothing on SES. Okay, so it really comes down to IMAC. It really comes down to IMAC. You know, if IMAC's going to be able to break out or not on that $3 break. And then we also have SAGE, which has about 30 seconds. Let's make this a little bit bigger. The only thing tough about these plays, here's SAGE. The only thing tough about these plays, again, is you got to like make the charts huge to be able to see them. Right now, SAGE, guys, starting to crack the trend line a little bit. Starting to crack the trend line a little bit on SAGE. Let's see if it can pop back up above 65 bucks. Again, we do have support at around 65 and 62. I'm going to just get rid of this trend line right now. You guys know, again, getting a little bit weaker, but let's see if it can hold. SAGE right here. The only thing that's a little annoying with SAGE is how often it gets halted, right? How often it gets halted. That does get a little bit of annoying because you want to buy the stock, right? You want to hop in on the play, and then it just starts, fading on. We don't really see too much, right? You want to get involved with SAGE, and then you hop in on it, it gets halted, and then all of a sudden, you get out of it, and then you want to hop back in, it gets halted. So sometimes those plays do get a little frustrating where it's just nonstop getting halted, 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 halted. Right now, $65, trying to hold on up as the support line. Really quickly, let's go through our penny stock top gainers today. Our penny stock top gainers today. We have IMAC is the number one top gainer. IMAC is the number one top gainer in the stock market for penny stocks. The scanners right now, guys, are set between 20 cents and $30. So these scanners right here are going to show us all the top gainers between 20 cents and $30. So right now, IMAC's the number one top gainer with a gain of 35%. BNGO is the number two top gainer with 27%. But IMAC not good until $3 break. BNGO not really looking that great right now. SCWX not great until a $13 break. POAI doesn't really have much volume. SCAS or SEAC fading off. CJJD. CJJD getting a little bit of popping. What is that? 23 million in float? Not bad. Not bad. I like the daily chart. Look at the daily chart right there, guys. That's a good one. CCJD. Again, 13 EMA, 200-day moving average squeeze. I'm actually going to add that to my little list of stocks to watch on my back burner. I do that in the notepad. So CCJD, if it had a lower float, I'd be in love with it. But I'm only liking it. I think it's cute, right? But that's only because of the bigger float. But other than that, perfect squeeze pattern over on CJJD. CHAP, no. SES, no. So it really just comes down to like IMAC and maybe if CCJD could ever do anything. But really the play that we have today is SAGE. Now, why was it a little bit slower this morning? Why was it a little bit later this morning? Why are we not seeing as much attention? Why are we not seeing as much volume right now? Well, what's the number one thing that sets off market conditions? The number one thing that sets off market conditions, guys, is pre-market, right? That's what brings in the hype. That's what brings in the momentum. That's what brings in the activity. When you have a hot pre-market, people are more excited. When you have a hot pre-market, it gets the day going much faster, much easier. Penny stocks, and even in the stock market, we talk about one word a lot: momentum. And when momentum is there, it's easy for stocks to run, rip, pop, break out, whatever you want to say, right? If you wake up at 7:30 and we see a stock up 100%, traders are saying, "What's going on? Why is that stock up 100%? What was the press release that came out?" Right? If you wake up at 8 o'clock, 8:30, you see the number one top gainer just spike $7. You see the number two top gainer just spike $4. You see the number three top gainer, up currently with great news. What are you saying? Oh wow, today's insane. Oh wow, I'm not going back to bed. I want to be watching this market. Oh, okay, this is my big money play. Right? That's your thought process. But let's say you wake up at 8 o'clock and nothing's going on. Not one gap up. No press releases. What are you saying? All right, hopefully we see something. 9 o'clock comes. No gap ups, no big breakouts, no big spikes. What are you saying? all right, I don't know, maybe I won't trade today, right? So what's the difference between option one and option two? People waking up and being super excited, between people waking up and saying, I don't know, I'm not really seeing too much. When you see people saying, I don't know if there's too much, not as many people actually trade. Not as many people actually, stick around in the stock market for that day. Not as many people actually hop in on these plays, right? It's much slower. There's not much going on. There's not as much activity, right? So momentum, market conditions are really set in pre-market based on how pre-market is. If we have a hot pre-market, we will see a lot of big momentum. If we have a very slow pre-market, things tend to not be able to get the ball rolling very well, right? So it's very tough. It's very tough to get the ball rolling. I always think about it in real life examples, right? Imagine you go to, let's say a high school party, right? Let's say you're in high school, right? You go to a high school dance, right? And let's say you walk into the dance and everyone's on the dance floor dancing and having a great time, right? You just kind of walk your way in and say, hey, let's have a good time. But imagine if it was a high school dance and all of a sudden you walk in and it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock now, and the dance is gonna end soon, and not one person has stepped on the dance floor. No one wants to be that guy who steps on the dance floor first, right? But if you walk in, on the high school party and everyone's already dancing, well then that's great. The high school dance is a great time, right? Because everyone's dancing, everyone's already having fun. But if not anyone's dancing, it's very tough for that one person to kind of step up to try to make something happen because he could go up there and no one can jump on with him, and then all of a sudden it's just awkward for him, and then he walks away, right? So that's basically like if we're trying to play some random penny stock, it's kind of we're the awkward person trying to get people to get into it because everyone's like, nope, not gonna get in on that. And then what happens? Then we're just stuck out there to dry, as the stock doesn't move, and we just have to take a loss. Yeah, where's Blake? Right? That's what we always say. So we need to, that cool fly kid